Today we take a look at an HPA body kit for the ever so popular KC02. Now obviously this video is sponsored from Tapp Airsoft, so thank you Tapp for sending these out. There are two things that we're going to be showcasing in this video specifically. The body kit for the KC02 that allows us to run this guy on HPA and the ARP9 AEG mag, and then this is not an essential piece to the upgrade. However, if you don't have a AR style stock, you can, grip, you can go ahead and pick this guy up from Tapp Airsoft because this one comes pre-drilled with the line hole, whereas the one that you have, you're going to have to drill that line hole yourself. So they were kind enough to send this guy out to me too. And all of these things will be linked down in the description below. So first, let's take these things apart, see what we've got inside of each package. Looks like we have the main body, which is obviously Tapp's famous 3D printed material. There's the adapter from the standard KC02 green gas mag, which will feed the gas from the airline, and then will feed the BBs from the ARP9 mag. And then this is the M-lock extension for the front, obviously. Nice and sturdy. It comes with all the screws that we need to. I'll pull this aside. And then here is our grip that it comes with. Now, obviously, this is just a standard printed, but a standard AR style grip, and it's got your standard screw in the base. But this is for the airline, from my understanding, and obviously, you can run it through either the back, which is cool, or you can run it through the base and come down the bottom of the grip, which is awesome too. And this one you can just pick up from Tapp Airsoft. It makes it super easy, and you don't have to mutilate your own grip. And it comes with the necessary hardware to install it as well. So some things that you want to keep in mind, obviously, this is where your mag release is going to be. It's this paddle. It does come with a rail attachment point for a stock, so I'll have to throw a stock on the back of that. When we get it all set up, we'll throw a sight on here, gear it up the way that I'm probably going to want to run it. Obviously, my KC02 is not the standard KC02. Mine has been modified a ton. So mine's going to be a little bit shorter on the shorter end, so hopefully it fits in there okay. And there's the airline. The line runs through the sides. We're going to have to be real careful that we don't hit that. Now the install should be super quick, just because the KC02 is very easy to take apart. All we need is a large Allen key, and we're going to have to attack this screw at the base of the KC02, and this is the only thing that holds it on to the body of, or the grip of my KC02. So just be careful. We're going to need this screw for later, I believe. Just that one screw. And there are some pins and stuff on the inside, so I always like to go ahead and pull this guy straight upwards and out. You can push from the grip or from the trigger box, and there goes one of the pins. So the pins are kind of just like lazily held in place. So be careful. There's a ton of them. There's one here, one here, one here. There's a ton of pins, so you're going to have to be careful of. I'll put this guy down like that, and we'll get this grip out of the way. Now, to install everything, I think we should install this first onto the body of the KC02. So let's unscrew these. That's going to be too small. I think this will be just right. So we're just going to have to pull these out. Nope, that is still too small. This one will be just right. We're going to have to pull these all the way out. 2, 3, and 4. Now let's see how sturdy this fits on in there. It's just going to install like this. It should just slide on in. And it's relatively sturdy. I think it'll be sturdier, obviously, after we get those screws on in place. We'll drop them in. Just be careful not to over tighten it, and make sure they go in straight. There's not really much holding those together, and they're not screwing into anything metal, so I do worry that those are going to stay in long term. I feel like if you were unscrewing them over and over and over again, that might start to strip, but only time will tell. I think like a small insert might be a good idea, like a metal insert. Could definitely up the sturdiness. And be careful too, because you're screwing in. It is strong, Tapp Airsoft's 3D prints, but you're screwing into plastic, and those screws kind of start to like pry outwards, like it's an upside down pyramid, and that puts a lot of pressure and tension onto the plastic when you do screw it in. And for something that doesn't have like a wall that it's screwing into, it can just keep screwing in, so you don't want to crack it. Now, when we go ahead and install this, we have to make sure that all those pins are not popping out, and then just watch that airline. It will apply a little pressure, I believe, but we don't want to apply too much like tension to it. It should drop in place without any force. We're getting there. It's definitely a snug fit. Is that in? Are we in? I think we're pretty in. Yeah, okay, we're pretty in. All right. Now, one thing to keep in mind, in order to take this apart, this mag release locks in place, so you have to press this down in order to remove the whole unit. Now what we want to do, I'm going to remove this one. You'd want to do that before if you were installing it. The reason being is even though I'm not going to be using that one, and I just dropped it on the floor, so even though I'm not going to be using that one to screw it in, you'd be replacing it with that long screw that you took out of the base before. What I need to do is take this screw and replace it down here. So it's just going to go into the base of the KC02, or the grip side of the KC02. And hopefully that's sturdy enough to hold it in place, which it seems like it is. Still moves nice and smooth. And it seems to function all right. Let's now attack this grip. So I'm going to remove this base screw here. And be careful, there is a nut on the other side that's just kind of sitting inside of a slot. We're going to need that in order to tighten it down. And we should be able to just take this grip now and decide whether we want the airline hose to go through the back or if we want it to go through the base. And I'm thinking I want it to go through the base. Will probably be the best option. So I think we have to remove this tube. We're going to put the airline hose through the inside of it. Can we angle it down into the base? Oh, it would just go... Okay, so if we want it to go through the base, it's just going to go through this hole. I don't want it to go through the rear. So it's going to go through that second hole, the one closest to the rear side. I think it should go closest to the rear side. Yeah, that seems correct. Okay. And then we will throw that screw back in place. Hopefully, my Allen key can reach. Now what I'll do, I'll drop this down into it first. Like that, so it's in there. Then we'll drop our airline hose through that second hole. And then screw that on into place. And that's pretty snug as a rug. And there you have it. So our airline tube is at the base. That'll be where we connect everything up to. It's hidden, it's out of the way, which is exactly where I needed it to be. Look at that thing. Is that not ridiculous? That's absolutely bonkers. There you have it, that whole KC02 lower. This thing looks insane. Obviously, mine's a little goofy because I have like a super shortened variant of it. We'll have to throw a stock on. I'm going to throw a red dot on and whatnot. Maybe even a muzzle and a grip. We'll see how it all looks. So we're outside with the body kit now. It looks absolutely menacing, and you can see I threw a couple little attachments on. We started off in the front with an oil can suppressor. I threw a foregrip on, a red dot with a riser. Obviously, we're running that HPA lined or already drilled HPA lined AR grip from Tapp Airsoft, so thanks to them for sending that out as well. And then this is actually just an M4 tube stock with the rail attachment piece, and I dyed this myself black. It was originally tan, and I absolutely loved it. And I threw a little QD sling mount, wow, QD sling mount on there too, so that's perfect. Now during the install, something that I did fail to mention was the mags. I said it takes ARP9 mags. It can, because you can actually get these in ARP9, M4, Evo mags and whatnot. And I was just confused because originally they had sent me a different adapter, if you haven't seen the video, or a different body kit, if you haven't seen the video, for an AAP01 that took ARP9. This one specifically takes MP5 mags, AEG MP5 mags. Unfortunately, the only one that I have is one of those windy boys, but it should do. As for HPA, it is strongly recommended on their website. You run this at 120 PSI. I was also reading on the little pamphlet that they included in the box that you have to drop the hammer first before inserting the HPA line, and if you don't, it would wind up blasting a very large amount of air into the line, causing the bolt to receive back, and you could do a misfire or cause further damage, and you don't want to do that. So be careful when you're installing this on the field so you don't accidentally hit somebody during, let's say you're in the staging area or whatnot. Now, all we're going to do is get the red dot on, and we'll throw that AEG MP5 mag on in. At first glance, it's a little mushy when you put it on in. It does install just fine. There's no wiggling front to back or side to side or up to down, so that's actually super solid, super sturdy in there, which is nice. Let's fire off our first rounds. Now, there's no BB in here, even though we racked the hammer back, so let's rack that back now. You should see the BB's feet up to the top, which they are, and we'll see how it fares if it feeds every shot. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Feels great. Obviously, there's no cooldown or anything because there's no gas spelling out. It's just pressurized air, which is really cool. So this is also going to wind up being really beneficial in the colder weather. Let me zoom you guys out so you can see the BBs fly. Now that we've zoomed out quite a ways and the camera quality is slightly worse due to so, we're not really testing the accuracy here. So I brought you out into the woods. We're going to shoot a log because it's a body kit. It doesn't mess with anything internally. So see how she goes. Seems to be able to handle and feed as fast as we fire down shots down range, regardless of what kind of mag we're running in there or the HPA, as long as we're at 120 PSI. Oh, we stopped there. A couple BBs jumped up. Got bunched up. That might just be because of the windy mag starting to get less pressure towards the end. So it'll probably do much better on a mid-cap. Jesus. That's super cool. That is seriously one heck of a body cat for the KC02. Dang. I feel like it looks kind of cool with the MP5 mag as well, being honest. I did bring you guys back in because there's something that I wanted to take a look at. Even with the mag inserted, obviously, it is oh, my hand was on the ejection. Okay, so with the mag fully inserted, like I said, it's pretty sturdy. No problems there. I do want to see, though, if it retains the BBs up in the chamber when we remove the mag now. So we pop this mag out. 1, maybe 2 BBs pop out. And then on the inside there, you should have a couple more BBs. So just be careful with that, obviously. It's cool because it retains some rounds, but you'll still have BBs feeding up to the top, and you don't want to accidentally fire it. So I think if you press that little button on the edge right there, you can obviously drop the BBs out because they're under spring tension, but I'm just going to leave them in there. Again, just be careful. So let's wrap some stuff up here. Now, cheers to Tapp Airsoft. They always come in clutch, and this thing looks absolutely crazy. So if you're interested in this thing, I'll link it down below. However, there's a couple things that I do wish were changed, and a couple of things that I do want to praise. It looks absolutely awesome. I love the modularity of it. It still looks really cool. It looks sleek with the design, but also slightly futuristic. The M-LOK is great. The body is great. It's light and it's sturdy. The install also, there was 0 tolerances between A and B. It had no problems there. Obviously, it'd be even more sturdy if I had that
back screw inserted like you guys will have on your stock KJW KC02, but mine doesn't have it. The few things that I do think they should do, including this grip, would be cool. You don't need it because if you have a standard out of the box KC02, yours will have a grip and you can obviously drill it yourself, so not the biggest of deal. Thank you for sending that out. One thing that I do wish, you see this spot right here? I wish this wasn't so aggressive because I want to almost ride my fingers up higher, and it's like this weird edge here. I get it, you know, obviously this just drops on in, but if they could somehow make this a little bit less aggressive, a little bit less sharp, and like boxy, that'd be cool, but you'll get more comfortable holding it over time. I just feel like my finger's really high up on the trigger. Another thing, the mag, right? So the mag, this is an Elite Force brand mag. I don't know if it's the same with all the mags. It's a little bit mushy when you put it on into place, but it is super sturdy once it gets in there, so that's no problem. As for the misfeed that we had, I genuinely believe that with a lot of the Tapp Airsoft replicas and body kits and whatnot and adapters, you need high quality mags, and being that the spring pressure or spring tension gets lower as the BBs start to unwind, a mid cap will probably do better than this windy high cap, so just use a different mag. It's just the only one that I had lying around because I'm a GBB guy. Other than that though, this body kit was absolutely gnarly and it performed incredibly, as you would hope it would. And I love the fact that I can run the HPA line right out the bottom of the grip. It hides it really, really well, and it keeps it out of the way, which is nice. So if you're an HPA guy, and you're also part of the cult of everybody who loves the KC02, this might be something that you're looking to get into. Might just be. Thank you again, Tapp, for sending it out. This thing was absolutely awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed. I look forward to working with them again in the future, and I'll catch you on the next adventure. Peace.